Hi guys, my name's Marcel and today you're going to learn how to draw everything. Like I said, and yeah, that's not clickbait. Doesn't matter if you want to draw animals, humans, inanimate objects, porn. Today's video is gonna be a guide on how to draw pretty much everything. Like always, I tried my best to explain and animate this video the best I could. If you want to see more of this stuff, why not leave a like? This is a one-man show. I'm editing, drawing, filming, and animating everything myself, so your support is appreciated. Also, my very first art book's pretty much finished. I've been working on it all year. I'll talk about it more at the end of this video. So, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys how to draw, well, anything. Like I said. You guys know how I like to do things. When you want to draw something, you take something and you try to break it down into its most simple components and shapes. That's what I tell you in every video I'm making. But here's the big question. Are you even able to draw those shapes? Sounds dumb, I know, but let's take a face for example. Of course I can draw a face, because I can draw the shapes for it. There's always this one person in the comments that's like, I can't draw a circle. And that's precisely the problem. You're watching a video about, for example, how to draw a face, but you're still struggling with drawing a circle. You want to learn how to run, yet you still have problems learning how to walk. But you see, that's not that bad, because learning how to walk is a lot easier than learning how to run from the start. If you're learning how to draw with simple shapes first, i.e. walking, then you'll be able to draw more complex stuff, i.e. running, way faster.
Bros don't draw that way!
Believe me, they do, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Now stop interrupting me! There's so many pros out there that use geometrical shapes even after decades of drawing. So yeah, this is a legit way of learning how to draw. So, how do you learn this? If I were you, I would start out by subscribing to this. I would start out by drawing the most simple shapes out there. Circles and cubes. It's certainly helpful to have a sketchbook to track your progress, but there's no shame in saving that money and just using a loose sheet of paper and some random pen. Your supplies don't have to be expensive. I mean, there's certainly no millionaire among us. It's just a tool to help you gain XP. After all, you want to win more experience, and not a beauty contest. Quantity is very important, at least at the beginning. The 100th hand you'll draw will look a lot better than the first one. And the same goes for simple shapes, like a circle or a square. Circles and squares are the most important shapes, and you'll need them to draw, well, pretty much anything. You'd be shocked to know how important they are. And I hear ya, you all think that this is way too easy. After all, some of you are already able to draw circles and squares. So, why don't we make this a challenge? For example, try not just drawing rectangles or squares, but actual cubes. Try drawing in 3D. Try mixing up the perspective. Try drawing multiple shapes that interact together. Same goes for the circle. Try drawing not just a circle, but a ball in perspective. And, if you've seen some of my videos, you might already know what this is good for. It's just like I said before, by learning how to walk, you simultaneously learn how to run as well. And that's the trick to learn how to draw anything out there. The trick is to learn how it's constructed. But, of course, someday you'll maybe come across something that's not made out of circles or rectangles. And for that case, you want to evolve the shapes you're drawing. For instance, instead of drawing a circle, try elongating it. Try drawing a bean instead. That's another shape you'll not only see in a certain very handsome unicorn parrot plushie, but also a lot of artists use beans to draw human bodies as well. Also, Google is your friend, as always. If you run out of things to practice, you'll find lots of new ideas there. There are some very easy examples for beginners, and there are some... What the fuck? It doesn't matter how useless those shapes seem, because there will always be some day where you'll be able to make use of them. And since you are not drawing those shapes 2D but 3D, your drawings will look a lot more lively at the end. So later on you can not only draw anything out there, but you can draw anything from any perspective. Now let's recap what just happened in a simple 3-step roadmap, because I like roadmaps a lot. So, no matter what you draw, humans, animals, machines, you need to be able to break it apart into its most basic shapes. This will also be necessary to draw more complicated things in perspective or foreshortened. If you have still problems here, especially with the perspective part, I already made a video about it, just take a look at it if you still struggle with the topic. Right after that, you learn the anatomy or structure of whatever you want to draw. How is it constructed? How does it work? This might sound simple, but if you ever tried to learn human anatomy, for example, you would know that learning the construction of something can take months or even years. Please always consider everyone has his or her own pace, so don't be stressed if you take a little longer. And if you have both of these things down, you can draw your desired object any way you want to, even from imagination to a certain extent. But even so, I would advise you to still use references. If you're still unsure about how your subject looks from a certain angle, just look at...
Pros don't use references!
Before you're interrupting me again, pros use references all the time. There's no shame in it. Most people you idolize still have to look stuff up. But the most important thing was, of course, step number 1, the basics. You wouldn't think how much more 3D your art looked if you just practice perspective and foreshortening with the most simple shapes out there. Well, thank you very much for watching. I think you saw that this video was a whole bunch of work, so I appreciate any kind of support, be it Patreon, subscribing, or just a simple like and a very nice comment. I've made videos about hands, anatomy, perspective, and so on, but if there is still something left that you want me to make a video on, then just let me know. Well then, about my art book. I've been working on it all year now, and I'm finally finished. My goal was to make it 100 pages. It's 150 now. It's gonna contain some of my favorite manga pages that I drew, artworks that I made, character sheets, concept art, and also drawings that I've never published before. Please look forward to it. I've been working very hard on it, and you'll be able to pre-order it in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned, I'll show you guys more in my next video and of course on my social media. Also, since you guys asked for it, I've been thinking about translating my manga series into English for a while now, and maybe I'll do that soon. At least volume 1. Again, if there's any news, I'll probably post it on my Instagram. It's been an insane couple of months. Thank you very much for all of your support up until now. Especially if you're supporting me on Patreon. You don't have to, but it's very welcome. Well then, my name's Marcel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.